Assistant Sports Information Director Greg Tadish with UHSP. We get ready for the start of the new 2023-24 season. We talk with women's volleyball head coach Katie Payne. You get the pleasure of opening up on Friday, first event, first games, and you're out in California. How excited are you for the new season?
We're super excited. It'll be fun for them to start off with a trip and be able to bond while we're on that trip, even more so than we have been already this preseason. So I'm excited.
I know it's the start of the week. You ready to go if you had to play right now?
Sure, yeah. There's a couple little things we could work on. We have an alumni scrimmage tomorrow night, so just laid back, but it'll give us some other people to see on the other side of the net, so it'll be good.
I know. I would think that volleyball, it starts so soon, and the run up to the season probably comes fast and furious. I know that you're doing a ton of practices. Just generically, how's it been going? What's the vibe been like? What have you gotten from them as far as getting ready for the new year?
Practices have been really great. The vibe is good. They've been positive the whole time. It's been loud in the gym. We've done a lot of different things, like we played sand volleyball, and we've done different workouts to kind of mix it up so they don't get bored. And I think that's really helped them bond this season so far.
We'll go back to the finish of last year, 7-25 overall. Where did that kind of sit with you when the season was all well and done and over? I know the conference is such a tough conference to compete in, but overall, your general thoughts on kind of how last year finished?
Last year was tough. I expected a little bit more out of us last year. I think that we were in a lot of matches. I don't think that there were times where we were just getting killed. We played a lot of 4 and 5 set matches, but just had trouble finishing those games. So if we can finish this year, I think our record will reflect that much more than last year did. So
you're a coach, you want to win. And I talked with Dan Hogan prior to this season, our men's soccer head coach, about this exact same thing. I sense that now that I've been here a year and I've had coaches tell me that the vibe here is different. The demands on the students are different. It's a certainly huge academic school. So how do you weigh the desire for you to try to win while you're also dealing with kids who, yeah, they're playing volleyball, but they're so torn between that and their studies?
Yeah. Well, I've been here a really long time, so I've seen different changes. I think that it can be hard because, yes, you want to win, but watching them grow, as long as you're watching them grow throughout the season, I think that is where you can kind of draw the line there, and it makes it sit a little bit better for you when you watch them grow and watch the process happen. I mean, it's hard. You want to win, but yeah, it's different.
I would think in the sport of volleyball, maybe more than any other sport, that cohesiveness, camaraderie on the floor, when it's working, this sport can almost be poetry in motion, the way you kind of watch it. It's awesome for people that aren't big volleyball fans. And you do a lot of team bonding stuff. I think this past weekend you were supposed to have a lock-in, and you talked about different group activities, kind of outside the box kind of stuff. Have you noticed that the camaraderie, at least the start of the season, is where you want it to be, or ahead of last year, or are you liking what you're seeing in that regard?
Yeah, I'm definitely liking what I'm seeing, and we have one more preseason meeting left with one of the girls, and so far the general consensus is it's been really good, and the vibe just feels different in a good way, and you can tell when they're on the floor. We're small; we only have 12 girls this season, but they're able to build their relationships with each other much more easily, I think, than in recent years past.
Talking with Eutectic volleyball head coach Katie Payne, you talked about 12, and I discussed this with some of your players, and Darlene Zedeker and Sydney Smith, about the numbers. And I expected them to say, oh, we're not real deep. We don't have a lot of people to go to if somebody kind of gets in a spot or deal with injuries and that kind of thing. They both admitted that they kind of liked the low numbers and the feel and the tight-knit kind of group atmosphere it gave the team. I know you were hitting the recruiting trail really hard this offseason. I think you'd probably want more than 12. Can you at least appreciate their response of what they think 12 is, and how does 12 sit with you?
Obviously, you always want more depth as a coach. It's a long season, so when we deal with injuries and just people having off days, having that depth is really nice. But like I said, they've been able to build those bonds already really quickly. We definitely have the talent within those 12 kids, young women that we have. So I'm confident that we will be able to succeed with just the 12 that we have. They are putting their heart and soul on the floor every day. So As long as we can stay healthy, knock on wood, I think we will be just fine.
I think up front last year was kind of an issue with both net defense and net
Mhm.
offense. What does this year's group look like up front?
I think we'll be okay. We got Darlene back in the
Mhm.
middle. We were missing her last year, and we were able to add some strong. We only added 2 freshmen, but they're both really strong for us. They'll be really good for us in the front row this year. So I'm excited for that.
What do you have for in California? I got to think there's some tough monsters sitting there for your first 4.
Yeah, I think the competition will be a little different, but looking at their schedules from last year, pretty average. 500 teams, so 500 may be different on the West Coast, but I think we'll find out. We'll see.
Is there a game you look forward to more than other games on a schedule of 30, whatever you got?
Um, Not necessarily. We just go out there and try and work our hardest every day. I mean, conference games are big for us, so we're going to want to beat those teams. But I think that Harris-Stowe's are always a fun match for us,
Mhm.
especially in the past couple years. Stevens is a good one for us. So we like to go out there and fight. Doesn't really matter who's on the other side. We're just going to do our thing. So,
You're the first one up. Come up on Friday. Good luck.
yeah, thank you.
Eutectic Women Volleyball Head Coach Katie Payne. I'm Greg Tadish, Assistant Sports Information Director here at UHSP.